Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast from the host Imperial Day, the one and only Master Propaganda. Off here to our 1v1 on Pachino Stalemate. In the south, we have a solid Mattic fighting here for the German army, Deutschland. Here, rolling out with the 44th Reichsgrenadier Division, und Deutschmeister. The north stands Trainz, fighting here for the British Empire. Here with the 6th Armoured Division, double sapper start here from him as he moves out to secure as much as possible. Solid Mattic with the double pioneer and grenadier start. As always, a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters for the continued and generous support of the Propagandacast. And a big thanks to all the people who keep liking and commenting on the videos, helps me get the video out to more people. And of course, a big thanks to Andrew for donating and supporting the Propagandacast with his hard-earned money. So, Grenadiers got out here for solid Mattic. Pioneers heading north and south. Grenadiers going to move up with the fuel point and secure it. Kind of very similar to what I do on this map. Some players might focus on the fuel point more directly. We got the Vickers out here for Trainz, and we got the section command post out here. So focusing a bit more on getting out himself a bit faster forces here, but delaying his infantry by a wee bit. So, second Grenadiers got here for solid Mattic. Sandbags done there, and interesting enough, grabbing the munitions point here. Perhaps he wants to prioritize the MP40s over the fuel, or perhaps it's a misclick. Hard to say here. Up north here, Pioneers advancing, grabbing the northern munitions point. We got the sappers there on watch. Grenadiers going to advance in on the center. Vic is secured here. Second Grenadiers got here for solid Mattic, popping into the church. Southern point secured by the Pioneer. Heading for the northern victory point. Grenadiers ready to put forwards. Vic heading southwards. You know, just a bit of dancing around here. Both players partly, I think, trying to suss out where they're doing, what their next moves could be, and then how to react to these. So this is a, very exploratory phase here, very reconnaissance-based. So of course, trying to, not get caught off guard. For the Germans, it's also in part to try and avoid, getting caught up by the sappers and the Sten guns at close range, at which point they can have a bad time. And for the Brits, of course, about not being caught off guard and, say, caught by an MD-42. Can equip them as well with MP40s now, definitely should do so. We got our third Grenadier squad here. Solid Mattic going solidly in here on those automatics.
Use the door. Yes.
Got the section out here for Trainz. We do have MP40s on the way. Their third Grenadiers, one of their first shots fired here. Well, secondary set of shots here, close to the fuel point. Solid Matticals now threatening here. Trainz fuel up north here, sappers sitting in by the northern victory point. Moving up Grenadiers support, pushing up the south side here. Going to threaten here. Trainz on the flank. Vickers will be caught in a bad spot here. Check out the MP40s up closely. That could be a big set of problems here for Trainz, Vickers. Water-cooled home machine gun here. There it goes. Going to try and set up Grenadiers to sprint. Can they sprint past? There we go. They do get sprint past here. The Vickers here. We got flames on the sappers, but it's going up yourself. You're safe here. The Vickers. So, nice one engaged in the south for solid Mattic and the 44th Reichsgrenadier Division, an elite German infantry division, I think originally from Austria, actually, and which was initially destroyed during Stalingrad, but rebuilt and then sent to Italy. So, little fun fact, they're digging by the southern points here. Even more fun fact, they're actually sent to a part of the Italian front that was mountainous, and they did not have the proper equipment for it. Third Grenadiers got out here, and we got the officers' quarters out here, so clearly solid Mattic is going to go hard on the MP40 build. Which again is still fairly good, but it just isn't as nearly powerful as it was. Again, there's just not many Panzer Grenadiers anymore, which was basically the issue because they just easily outperformed the Panzers in a lot of other ways because they had Panzerfaust, they had medic kits, plus they could merge and lay down sandbags power. They could just do a lot more than the Panzer Grenadiers do it while still having roughly the same DPS, and in some cases, thanks to faster veterans, to kind of out DPS them. So, anyway, Sappers catching the Pioneers here, Grenadiers supporting. Need to draw the Pioneers before they get wiped out here. Trainz, of course, quickly regroups and we counter-attacks here against the Germans before Monty, starts breathing down his neck. North Grenadiers around the sappers here, though. Forced to withdraw here. Trainz actually pulls his men back, and meanwhile getting ready for a push here on the fuel point. That's going to definitely leave solid Mattic in a bit of a tight spot. Meanwhile, Panzer Grenadier company on the way. More MP40s there being dug up. Baker's going to pop into the church here, grabbing the points here. So we'll have to see here what solid Mattic does. I mean, one option, of course, would be to go for a grenade wave to counter around here. Mines on the road as well from Trainz. Very good work there. Then he's being forward, got the MP40s ready. Get a nice surprise in there. Go Vickers breaks the window. And there you go. Grenadiers just deciding they got better places to be. Wants to see the water-cooled water machine gun popping out there of the backside of the church. Hey Fritz, I think we forgot something back home. Ja, Granatenwerfer. So, northern approach goes here, and of course, the smart move here from Stalemate is, in a sense, to kind of avoid here Trainz, like force Trainz to have to divert his forces away from the hard point here. So, like, just constantly attacking here, making progress elsewhere. He's making, I think, fair work with that, because here the Trainz, of course, is not going to counterattack around here. We got a pack 40 for Stalemate, clearly anticipating Trainz here. We'll go here for the platoon command post, then push out a Humber. Though, of course, it does mean it doesn't have, like, an easy way of dealing with the Vickers, which you do think should always be a priority, of course, for Stalemate to deal with. But he's clearly, I imagine, concerned about the possibility of like a fast Humber or fast Stuarts out of Trainz. Also, over to Trainz here, who's in fact going for the Humber. We also got Armoured here with the rigorous vehicle training. Pioneers wiped out. Mine there, doing the final bit there. Mining there by Trainz, of course. Very good mining. So Stalemate here definitely caught a bit flat-footed now by those Englishmen, but he's striking back hard here. Sappers being caught here by the MP40 wielding Grenadiers here, doing a lot of damage here. Sappers could go down here. There we go, could get a wipe here, perhaps not. We got another Sapper team there, Flamethrowers ready, need to withdraw the Grenadiers here. Low on health here. More Grenadiers being up rushing in the section here. Pioneers supporting, though they are fairly low on health here, and it might be worth for Stalemate to be a bit more careful around these Sappers or Pioneers here. Mortar also ready for him. You can see the icon on the minimap. Meanwhile, Humber rushing through here, going to respond to the German presence in the south side. Meanwhile, Grenadiers up north are having a nice time, but the rest of the German forces here are having an absolutely miserable time. Mortar find the church here and the nearby section, crashing through what remains of the church's roof, which is admittedly not much. Vickers therefore start on just one man, the rest, well, dead. Mortar there, veterans one, of course, already, thanks to that officer's quarters. Pack 40, of course, ready there. The Panzerabwehrkanone 40, so I imagine Stalemate is very happy he went for that Pack 40 when he did. So a sharp push here by Trainz, who goes for a mortar of his own, the 3-inch mortar. Respond here, of course, to the Germans. He's pushing in on the Humber, going to Panzerfaust it. Damn it, in the end of the Humber armoured car there. Quite the mess. Good Lord, Terence, you know what we got to do? Yes. Quickly, fetch the kettle while the engine is still hot, warm enough to heat it up. No, we gotta put out the fire. Oh, right. Grenadiers for the Saps up north with the flame for Sten gun combo is a problem here for the Grenadiers. They may have to withdraw here soon before they get wiped. Ground back the fuel point here. Pack mortar and reserve could try and move a bit closer to the front line here. Meanwhile, Grenadiers northwards may want to heal them up if they haven't. You'll of course have to see what Stalemate does next, but I would recommend some Panzer Grenadier, unless he's planning to go for the mechanized assault group and some Starstorpen. As for Trainz here, guessing we're like looking here at a Crusader anti-aircraft medium tank. Grenadiers here not healing up, not doing too much here. Saps getting to hard work here on the Humber. German forces are now pushing up towards the fuel point here. Granatenwerfer Grenadier and the Panzerabwehrkanone 40. Going for a second Pack 40 here. Stalemate there, clearly going for a very more defensive posture. We also got healing on the way there for Stalemate. Need to be careful not to split these packs up too much, though. They could get overwhelmed here by Trainz pretty rapidly, in which case Stalemate is, of course, going to have a solid problem on his hand. Vickers there joining out and mortar joining in. Response here, of course, got a British mortar firing in as well there, so center of the map here getting pummeled with artillery fire up north. Going to catch the Sappers here, Pack 40 in reserve, and the second Pack 40 is around here for Stalemate. As for Trainz, we'll have to see what happens next. No training yet, though. We got Bren guns for sections. Push forwards here. Granatenwerfer, though, being hit by the British 3-inch mortar team. What is next? We've got healing there for the Grenadiers. Very good. Fuel pump there being hit again. Up north here, Humber going in for the Grenadiers. Pack 40, though, could try and turn around here. Slam a 75mm armor piercing around straight through the front there. None of that yet, though, but definitely a bit risky pack position there by Stalemate up north, pushing forward. See Vickers this time in a different position, so Stalemate couldn't just say start bombarding the church again. Plus, the church is already in such a weak position that if he popped it in there, he could have risked losing the church like a few stray of the machine gun in the church to a few stray shots, knocking the entire thing down. It's a good move there. And there you go, pack full end grade here on the Humber, almost got it. Oh, too slow there, and the Humber is a fireball here, right. Wreckage created there by Stalemate. Quite a blow there to him. We got machine gun there being smoked out by the Granatenwerfer for good work, but the mortar itself is getting counter-mortared by Trainz mortar. Definitely a problem here for Stalemate. And he's reinforcing healing. And again, we can sort of see again, like now the MP40s again just aren't nearly as strong. He's not quite leveraging his firepower as much here versus Trainz as he would have been before the patch. In fact, before the patch, the British would typically struggle heavily versus MP40 Grenadier strategies. So that's in highlight something there. Anyways, over to Solid Mattic again. No sign on what he's planning next. Clearly not Stooks though. Clearly not the Sturmgeschütz. North Grenadiers versus the Sappers there. We got 404 versus 459. Pack 40 taking a very long circuitous route to get to safety. Far south, the Trainz moving up. Again, Solid Mattic at this point is kind of being baited into fighting around here, which benefits Trainz because he can, like, you know, focus most of his guns in one position and can tie up a large amount of German troops. And, like, you know, he really has to invest time to grab more of the rest of the map here. So tactically, Solid Mattic definitely needs to, like, flank around here or needs to, like, focus on the rest of the map here. In particular, now he did get rid of the Humber, which was otherwise a big win there. Him constantly focusing, I think, is tactically a bit of a mistake there. I would expect the Solid Mattic to probably just try and push for the Panther 4 next here. There you go. Mortar, Vic's being flanked here. Grenadiers swarming in there from a side street, forcing back here. The men on 6th Armoured supporting elements there to withdraw. Pack 40 there, finally back at base. Mortars moving forwards, other pack moving forwards as well here. Meanwhile, at Trainz base, we're not seeing much tech here. Would not be surprised if it's going to go straight for the Crusader anti-aircraft tank, in which case having a second pack 40 is definitely going to be very handy here for Solid Mattic. He's finally bringing out an MG42. Surprised we didn't have one up from him earlier. But better late than never. Section being barred with Grenadier and Mortar fire there, force them to withdraw. Of course, not wanting to die or hand over that shiny Bren gun to the Germans. So MG42 ready here for Solid Mattic. Grenadier assault here forcing out the section there in the south, blowing apart the door and several windows. Probably a few tables and chairs. Could get a wipe here, maybe. That would certainly be a great kill if Solid Mattic would put a bit of harm here to Trainz. There we go, good chance. He may want to sprint in. There we go to keep pace. Yes. Or no if you're Trainz. There we go. Got the wipe there. Good wipe here for Solid Mattic. That definitely is going to help slow the gap here. But now we do have the Crusader anti-aircraft tank, which unfortunately, some of the auto cannons of the game got a boost to their anti-tank performance, which they're not supposed to have, by the way. I think he went for the training there, so just immediately veterans one. But they are going to fix that, I believe. But for now, it does mean that stuff like the Crusader, the Afghan, the flak feeling actually fire a fair bit faster than supposed to. So that should hopefully also get sorted out with the hot fix. They have put out one to fix some of the no cooldown and smoke pots and fix some of the crashes. So but they have said there's going to be another one on the way to also help with the performance issues, by the way. So if you're having performance issues, don't worry, it's not you, and they are working on it. In the center of their south wing to the MG42 here. 7 men on the 6th Armoured Division trying to push forwards here. Ren section of catching in the pack 40 in a bad spot here. Need to reposition machine gun thing to deal with that sudden incursion in the south here. Grenadiers hunting up behind the bushes there, the shrubberies. Machine responding here to the southern incursion. Grenadiers caught here by the Crusader anti-aircraft tank, really letting loose with his Bofors. Bren gunners here going for that. Pack 40, but there you go, caught by the infantry. Now the infantry Grenadiers, they are halting their tracks and will be forced to withdraw here. We also have a second MD40 for Solid Mattic. Guessing a Panzer Company next. Of course, if we just pushed for Stooks, he would have been able to have the Sugar thing up to help push back against the Crusader anti-aircraft tank. Clearly wants to push for Panther 4s by all appearances, and that's fair enough. Though again, not without his risks. Again, someone's going to go for something like that. Section of Corps MD42 routed, almost getting a wipe here. Getting another wipe here on Trainz would certainly be quite painful for Trainz. Also, I think I should have shifted Trainz sooner there. Sorry about that. Again, I get caught up in the action here. So, almost lost his other section. That left him just the Sappers, the Crusader, and some supporting arms. There you go. Pack 47 up. Grenadiers still being pinned down the middle of the road here by the Vickers. Quite the grueling engagement here. Pack 47 turning around to MD42 as well here. Another Crusader tank on the way here. He specifically for Trainz. Good shot there from the Pack 40. Sappers moving up the center. Mortar Vetty 2 by the way here for Solid Mattic. Pioneers going to assist here. Definitely a bit of a mess here. Machine gun forced away. Mortar there. Wiped by the British mortar. Solid Mattic needs to get his Grenadiers into the action here. Schnell. Meanwhile, Trainz pulling back his Crusader anti-aircraft tank. Sappers wiped.
vehicles on standby.
So quite a bit of action in machine gun there. I think could try and push northwards or try to move towards assisting the rest of the forces. I think just defending the northern field point with the MD-42 currently is not cost efficient. Second Crusader anti-aircraft tank here, going at it versus the Germans. Training center wise, yeah, he's got the arm upgrade there. Go. Troops enforcing healing. Panzer Company there for solid Mattic. So again, he's going to push for a Panzer IV. Respond, of course, here to Trainz armored train, if you will. It's definitely a bit of a riskier strategy here from solid Mattic. And certainly an argument he should have been at least pushing for a couple of Stuks and then push for Panzer Company. But again, you can make it work. Of course, it used to be easier when the Grenadiers with MP40s were even better. But again, the nerfs have kind of made this kind of strategy a bit tough here. So it's definitely more risky now for solid Mattic to try for. There you go, Panther Fire's pack combo there. Crusader anti-aircraft tank taking heavy amounts of damage there. Another great hit here. Almost got it. And the Crusader anti-aircraft tank goes down here. Paying off with the double pack strategy for solid Mattic. Leaving Trainz there. Definitely a bit upset, I imagine. Not too upset. Second push back here. Mortifying the Vickers here. Plus flamethrowers here. Could get a wipe then. Trainz here. Close call, but no, he gets the Vickers out there through the back door. The rest of the gun crew there escapes. A close and very uncomfortable encounter here. Grenadiers setting out there. Panzer Company ready there for solid Mattic. Grenadiers based in the south. Packs moving up. Machine gun support here. Very good. 44th Reichsgrenadier Division holding up. We got mines as well here. Thumbs up. Crusader, though, right back at it. Trainz wants vengeance. Out ones for Dunkirk. You show him, Terrence. You show him. We got the packs here. Machine gun coming at the south side. Got the southern victory point. Definitely a bit of lead here for Trainz over the Germans. Not a lot of infantry for Trainz. Not a lot of infantry.
Enemies pushing the line, trying to take one of our points.
Sabs advancing, catching the pack 40 exposed. Close victory on that one. Be a bit of a shame here for solid Mattic to lose such a veteran anti-tank and crew here. Backhatch reinforcing healing. Pushing finally northwards here. At the pack 40, I think it's going to get wiped out. We also got the Crusader tank now hitting the O-extended machine gun. Certainly highlighting a bit the dispositioning of solid Mattic's forces. Pack crew there being scorched. Sappers being routed, caught here with the Pioneers as well. And there you go, troops up the centre being caught. Oh, the MD-42 was not angled properly. This trees there actually blocking the line of fire a bit here. Great though for Trainz. Makes it even to push into the centre of Pachino proper. We need to be careful that pack 40 there. Solid Mattic, 4-6. Meanwhile though, the cavalry has arrived here. That Panzer IV has arrived to assist, to push forwards here with the 44th Reichsgrenadier Division, sent in from the nearby 16th Panzer Division to provide support. Machine gun getting hit by a British mortar fire here. We got the Syrian ability also activated. Good shot from the pack 40 with the still on health. The Crusader should be able to have a chance at wiping out frontally. Nope, doesn't get it done still. Another great hit from the pack 40 though. Crusader is vetted too. Panther IV is... where is it? Oh, it's there. Was taking a southern route here, flanking the Vickers here as well. Very nice. Sarzai going for the sappers. Need to retreat them though. They're taking too much time from the sappers. Mortifying the Panther IV. 6-pounder gun autopilot coming fire for the Vickers. May have to pull back the Panther IV a bit here. Grenadiers wiped out. Great kill here. Fort Trainz and solid Mattic. Great kill.
Heavy tanks are
and now we got Churchill's meanwhile out for Trainz and the British Empire. The Churchill Mark IV infantry tank. Equipped with a 75mm gun, I believe. There were some earlier models with 6-pounder guns. But I think they were fairly quick to catch on. They just wanted bigger guns on those things. Panther IV need repairs. Of course, double packs on the Panther IV should be able to help slow down the Churchill tank. Of course, more infantry. I think some Sarstrom could do a lot of work here for solid Mattic. Of course, for Trainz, if that happens, he may of course want to invest in some foot guards, or at least more Bren sections. Also worth noting, Trainz has got a lot of munitions floating about there. Takes up the Panzerkampfwagen. Churchill rolling southwards there. North here we got the Crusader hitting the Grenadiers. They exposed. They are easy prey. Churchill moving forwards here, rolling ahead a lumbering landship of British steel and ingenuity. Over to solid Mattic. Going for Panzer Grenadiers. I mean, that's pretty good too, though. I feel like with a Panzer Company, you really want some Starstorm here. But that's just me. I mean, both are great, though, and I really like using both, but I feel like we got the Panzer Company, and you kind of want some Starstorm. Anyways, bit of quiet here. Both sides assessing the situation. Oh, Crusader anti-aircraft tank hits the mine, engine blown up. Crew definitely not enjoying themselves. Except for Reginald, who's also been a bit weird. Trainz, I think, getting a move on here. He needs to attack here, I think. He realizes if he doesn't do that, the Germans could push for his Crusader anti-aircraft quite safely. But if he threatens with the Churchill tank, it could force solid Mattic here to withdraw forces to respond to the Churchill's advance here. Shot there, bounced the max range here from the Pack 40. They want to withdraw the machine gun. Shot went through here. Panther 4 that keeps the Crusader tank. Anti-aircraft tank is being repaired. Pioneers moving into spot as well here. Panther 4 arrives to go catch the Sapper. 6-pounder gun being flanked as well here. There we go. Good shot here. Pioneers don't need to be careful. They're getting murdered. I think they might have misclicked here for solid Mattic. Oh dear, and they get wiped, dropping the flamethrower. Don't know what went wrong here for solid Mattic, but something went wrong. And we got an incendiary bombing run on the 6-pounder gun here. Trying to force him to decide here. But getting shots in on the Panther 4 or not. There you go, incendiary bombing run, catching the Vickers and the 6-pounder gun, burning up both buildings, collapsing here. Churchill tank dealing with flanking grenadiers here. It's a big push here by solid Mattic. In the end, he doesn't get the Crusader anti-aircraft tank. He does lose his Pioneers. On the other, he does swap the 6-pounder gun crew, so I don't know. Packs on the move here, machine gun as well there. Trying to get his hands on the Panzer, the 6-pounder gun here and turn into a pack, I suppose. Doesn't quite pay off here. Gonna wreck it instead. I think that makes a lot of sense here for solid Mattic to deny Trainz the anti-tank gun here. No, decide. Oh, does he? Okay, he can also go for another Panther 4 here, I believe. Yes, another Panzerkampfwagen 4 here for the German army. They may want to withdraw this one actually at this point. The British are going to recruit, at which point he's also going to bring up another one. Another building collapse here. Solid Mattic, I believe, is doing this intentionally, just denying his opponent access to the terrain here. Panther 4 being hauled back. Sappers on the flank. Need to withdraw the machine gun, and the Panzer being hosed here by the British machine gun fire, raking the streets here. Panther 4 there just needs to keep pulling back towards the base. Machine gun needs to get out of there. Grenadiers trying to flank in here. Churchill tank taking a lot of damage. Second Panther ready. It's an intense and fierce duel for the center of Pachino now. 44th Reichsgrenadier is shown there, pouring in more men and equipment to gain a foothold here against the 6th Armored Division, furiously trying to keep Monty from shouting them into an unsustainable attack here. Meanwhile, fresh Pioneers out here for solid Mattic, as he did lose the ones he had to repair stuff at all. Need to be careful not to push this Panther 4 too far ahead. May also want to focus on the victory points on the side here. Meanwhile, Trainz bringing, of course, in another Churchill Mark IV infantry tank.
Give us a target!
Pushing off is there, very good. Pioneers in today should definitely get out another Pioneer squad. Oh, he has gone here for the hazard removal packet, which does expedite repairs. So, thumbs up to solid Mattic. Meanwhile, stuff being repaired here for Trainz. Machine gun there hitting the British mortar. Did I actually use the flares? I don't know. But there you go. Panzer gun is being sent southwards here. He's also not too far away from a Tiger tank soonish. Meanwhile, Trainz going to go here for another push here. Looks like he's going to make a double-pronged effort. One Churchill tank backed up by anti-tankers, maybe some light infantry moving towards the centre. Another Churchill tank was right in the south. We got the Crusader tank as well here. Pack 40 there, firing from the alley into the Crusader tank here. Panther 4 was the Churchill. Need to pull the machine gun out of there. Packs opening up here, forcing the Churchill tank there back, but there's a good chance he might lose the machine gun. Panther 4 there. Gets the Crusader anti-aircraft tank here, leaving Trainz now with just 2 Churchill tanks here versus solid Mattic. Grenadiers hiding out behind the rubble. Mortar fire raining down in the centre, forcing solid Mattic and the 44th to slowly abandon the city here to the British force. The 6th Armored Division now leans in heavily here with the Churchill tanks here. Shots bouncing off the 100mm thick frontal armor. I think it's like 150mm on the frontal armor there. They were designed to, again, like, absorb hits. So they're also not designed to be fast. Panther 4, they almost knocked out here, pushing up the centre as well here. Packs firing in there. But they're struggling here. The sheer durability. There you go. Panther 4 down here. Brutal push from Trainz. Solid Mattic center is collapsing. Both packs wiped here. He's grabbing the 6-pounder gun here. Panther Fausting Trainz. Churchill taking flank to the rear here with the 6-pounder gun, except it can't. Can it? Probably turn around here. No, it just can't. It looks like it can, but it can't. It's like, yeah, you can see the bit unfortunate there for Solid Mattic. Pants for the flanking end here. Catching the Churchill tank from a bad angle. In the south here, Panther will be pushed back here by Sappers in section. Could suffer a wipe here. Panther 4 diving in here. Got focus far here. We've got the 6-pounder gun up there as well. Could lose the Panther with that gun. The Churchill tank. That would be a huge blow here to Solid Mattic. Got the Churchill tank. But he's going to lose the Panther 4, I think, here. He's going hull down, but it's too late. It doesn't matter. Brutal exchange here. Brutal. He does recruit one of the Pack 40s at least, denying it to Trainz, or at least denying the opportunity to destroy it. But the other one may go down here. So yeah, they're being quite brutal on both sides. Hard to say who really got ahead on that one. That said, 2 Panther 4s for a Churchill tank, and I do think that is Trainz. As that's going to be much harder here for Solid Mattic to bounce back. Plus, the Pack 40 there got destroyed. You also now have the recon artillery, though Trainz are firing a lot of munitions. There we go. Popping it in here. Damn its engine. Churchill tank here could be going down. Trainz holding the 6-pounder gun out of German range here. Pack's almost got it. Oh dear. Could it destroy the Churchill tank number 2 here? Almost had it there. Smoke being deployed. Pack crew being destroyed by the recon artillery. Oh, this is such a brutal engagement here. Meanwhile, fresh troops coming out from the base here up north. Grenadiers routed. Can he finish off the Churchill tank? Looks like the answer to that is no. He can't. So close, yet so far here. Need to get those weapons out there before the recon artillery just knocks them out. Doesn't have a chance here. It is so accurate there. After some amount of time, of course, it starts out inaccurate, but as time passes, it gets more accurate. And there you go. Losing the Grenadiers and the Pack. Huge blow there to Solid Mattic. Really struggling now here with the 44th Reichsgrenadier Division. And we got another Panther 4 here. No time to dilly-dally and stall for a target tank here for Solid Mattic. Very sensible, by the way. If he hadn't lost like all that, he might be able to pull it off here, but these losses really make it next to impossible for Solid Mattic to stall out. And there you go, Pack destroyed, leaving him with no anti-tankers now here. Further, I think, cementing here Trainz, otherwise strong position after that engagement in the center. That's a very, very punishing engagement of Solid Mattic. He went from being in a strong position to now, you know, being in the opposite of a strong position. And now we got another Churchill tank out here for Trainz. So Solid Mattic here is in for a really, really rough ride.
A victory point is being overrun.
Of course, Solid Mattic is a fighter. He believes he will keep fighting, but the odds are not in his favor at this point.
Commander, we have artillery on standby.
Almost got a 6-pounder gun. If he was like, you know, get the Olin up the front of the rear of the Churchill tank, he might have been able to work it out here. He's going in hard though. Solid Mattic probably thinking his best bet right now is like just attack aggressively. Trying to keep Trainz on the defensive here. That's it. This push here with the Panther 4 was too risky. End up suffering a lot of needless damage with the Panther 4 and losing it. So Solid Mattic here is just in a really, really uncomfortable position right now. Even though we're able to like wipe out both the Trainz anti-tank guns, the problem is Trainz can easily recruit them, and he can't really, you know, just magically recruit his own Panzer 4. Like, it's gone. That was a really bad engagement here. The old's got more recon artillery now for Trainz. He's got so much munitions, he can just keep calling it in for days. Certainly only adds here to Solid Mattic's discomfort. He's going for another Pack 40 here. Trainz, of course, just recruits his 6-pounder guns. Churchill's now occupying the centre of Pachino after many hard-fought battles. The Germans have been ejected once more. So what will Solid Mattic do now, except probably go for more Pack 40s? Will he try and hold out for a Tiger tank? What will he do is the big question. Both Churchills both by Veterancy 1, in fact, both also fairly close to Veterancy 2. There you go, Pack 40 coming in with a mix of infantry and supporting elements here. But one Pack 40 versus 2 Churchill tanks is going to be really, really, really tough. There you go, shots fired. I mean, one option I suppose he could still try for, though obviously it's going to be expensive, and that's still be the better one, is actually, at this point, to go for the Luftwaffe company, get the support elements, start pushing for Martyrs, because they do have a fair amount of penetration and damage along with range and mobility, and could be a way of like trying to counter the Churchill tanks. A bit risky, obviously, but at the same time, it might be one of his more reliable options for putting an end to the Churchill menace. Mortar fire here on Trainz. 3-inch mortar team over to solid Mattic. Got 49 to 94 here. Almost got it there. And another pack 40 for solid Mattic. I am not surprised at all. I mean, there's also the option of trying to alert for the Tiger tank. But the question is, for the few victory points he's got left, is this a strategy that can really work out for solid Mattic? That's what he decides on, not just the stall for Tiger strategy. I'm not so convinced of that. Of course, the problem, of course, with swifting to Martyrs now would also be, that's also going to be like fairly time intensive. So honestly, that might even be a good idea here. So in this regard, solid Mattic's options are limited. The other option would be to actually go for Stugs, Sturmgeschütz 3 Ausführung G, which if they get close enough can actually like have a fair amount of penetration. Of course, that also bring them within range of the 6-pounder guns. So all of like solid Mattic's options right now are not looking particularly solid. Definitely looking all challenging. Into the Churchill tanks here and the Vickers, and he's flanking in. They could maybe do some damage there. And solid Mattic is, I think, actually been like doing fairly well with his infantry on the flanks. It's just some of the other things he's done less well on, and where Trainz like just been able to hit back quite hard. There you go, machining trouble here. Panzer's flanking up here. Got 24 here. Panzer is raving through the Sappers. Got a grenade assault into the midst of the Sappers here. Panzer moving and grenades about to get wiped out here. A nice infantry flank here for solid Mattic. It's just, if not for the Churchill tanks, this would work even better, but the Churchill tanks just kind of murder all of his infantry. He's pushing forward to the Pack 40s, using the chaos to advance his anti-tankers, and Trainz actually forcing Mattic, but Trainz, of course, now just running with another recon loiter. Pack wiped out. Now again, the lack of armor is really starting to hurt solid Mattic. Trying to crew up stuff here, but it's not going to work out. The recon loiter is just... recon artillery is just going to wreck everything here. 9 points left. 8. 7. 6. Solid Mattic pushing to the center again. He got 5. Another hit on the Churchill. 4. 3. Desperate last push hit. 2. 1, and that's it. GG. Game over. He lost here to solid Mattic. A victory for Trainz. I mean, quite a back and forth match here at times. Solid Mattic, I think, pulling off some really impressive maneuvers that actually threw Trainz off there a fair bit. But tactically, I feel like solid Mattic at times, I think, picked some of the wrong gauge. I think I got too caught up here for too long then, when he could have probably launched this, more extensive flank assault earlier and pushed back Trainz that way for some of the times here, when Trainz had that early setup here by the church and the fuel point. I think a bit more active than just pushing on the flank. I think could have pushed back Trainz faster. I also do think you should have, maybe consider Stuart there once the Crusaders pushed in there. Or at least some stars to himself with their Panzer guns. So, several paths here he could have considered, though. But also, there's some tactical misdecisions here and there. I think the Trainz were able to exploit and slowly turn the game around. But still, I think quite a solid match here. So, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, tell a friend, tell a family, but not your enemies. You can also support the Propagandacast by donating on Patreon. Links are in the description. This is Imperial Cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye, everyone.